Hello, welcome to this beginner's flow. We're going to focus on opening the ankles, the feet, and the heels, especially if you have pain in your Achilles tendon or your calves, and we'll work deep into the hamstrings and the hips. So to get started, we're going to begin in an easy seat position in our meditation. You can grab a pillow and also maybe a blanket for this practice, and just come to settle sitting onto the pillow or maybe a couple pillows, whatever helps to raise the hips so it's a little bit easier on the knees, and placing one foot in front of the other, allowing the knees to relax down, hands resting onto the knees, and closing the eyes if that's comfortable to you. And just coming to a gentle, steady breath. Aligning your head over the shoulders and your shoulders over the hips. Focusing on the spine, elongating and being magnetized towards the sky. And your shoulders rolling open. And you're still drawing the ribs, the front ribs together so that you're creating a neutral spine and not creating any arch within the lower back. But you want to feel that the sternum, your upper chest, lifts up towards the sky, so you're opening yourself up to the moment, but allowing your breath to sink like a weight in water into the depths of the pelvis. So really drinking the breath in with your inhale, allowing it to move into all spaces of you, not setting any limitations. And with your exhales, allowing yourself to fully empty out, fully release a layer of your day, of your being, whatever is resisting you from being completely in this moment. Just making a decision to be present for yourself with this practice, and to follow the guidance of your breath, and to listen into your body, the sensations, if there's any pain anywhere, and just to bring nourishment and care into each movement, into each breath. As you inhale, you're going to draw the one ear over towards the side. It can be the right or the left ear, whatever works for you. And you're just going to roll the head to the center on an exhale, an inhale, rocking it to the side. So just doing these half circles, inhaling, drawing one ear over towards the shoulder, exhaling, rolling through the center, inhaling to the other side, and exhaling through center again, taking it at your own rate and holding in one place if it feels good to just hold there and breathe. Still allowing the shoulders to stay and remain heavy. And maybe the torso wants to have some extra movement, so maybe allowing the torso to move with the neck as well. And then inhale, you're going to shoulder shrug. Inhale, roll the shoulders forward, up towards the ears. Exhale, back and down, doing that 3 times in this direction. Rolling it forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Then go ahead in the other direction, rolling the shoulders back up towards the ears. Exhale, down. And 2 more times in your own breath, feeling each bit of it. And go ahead, shake the shoulders out. And let's come to extending our legs straight out in front of us. If you're using that pillow and you have tight hamstrings, you can stay seated on that. If your ankles hurt while they're on the mat or on the ground, you can place a blanket and place your heels onto them, depending on how bony that back heel is. Then we're just going to point the feet with an inhale, and as you exhale, you flex, so you're drawing the toes closer towards the body. And just hold, and real slow, ripple the toes back forward, pointing, reaching through the toes. Go ahead at your own rate, flexing and pointing, allowing the toes to get into the movement, to jump on board and allowing a deep stretch through the calf, the tops of the feet, the toes, throughout the whole bottom of your foot, your shins. And then you're going to keep the feet flexed, so drawing the toes towards the body. Inhale to sweep the arms up. And if you'd like, so we're going to start by bending the knees first. So you can start to draw the blanket in a little bit closer towards you. Bend the knees so that the abdomen can begin to rest onto the thighs. You might have to bend the knees a lot. And then from there, with the abdomen resting on the thighs, then if you feel like you want to go deeper, you can start to reach the heels towards the front of the mat again. But notice how the back is remaining flat. So we're trying to reduce the doming or the curvature of the spine. Here we want to create still good posture as we bend forward. So we're practicing bending through the hips. So it's not about getting the legs flat onto the ground. It's just about the sensation that you're feeling in this moment and being okay with that sensation. Not wishing to go deeper or wanting for anything to change, but rather just listening to your breath and breathing into the heat of the pose, into any tightness, softening the beating of the heart, the thoughts within the mind. And just going to that space right before your limit and allowing yourself to hold there. Again, you're still actively flexing the feet. We're getting into this muscle that clips into the back of our knees, goes down our whole calf, and moves into the Achilles tendon, which clips onto the back of our heel. So especially if you have heel pain or ankles, doing this pose, a forward fold, Paschimottanasana, will help stretch that out. Now we're going to roll our feet in circles, inhaling one direction, both the feet, so pointing and flexing, and then you're going to roll the feet in the other direction. Really giving your ankles some love. And then you're going to roll them out in opposite directions away from each other, pointing back forward. And then reversing, so pointing the feet, moving to the side. So just, moving whatever's intuitive for you and your ankles. Good. All right. We're going to remove the pillow to the side if you were using that, and the blanket. And we're going to come onto our backs. So resting fully onto the ground. Allow the legs to reach up towards the sky. It's okay if the legs aren't straight. Resting the hands down. Same thing here. We're going to inhale, flex the feet, draw the toes towards the body. Really reach the heels towards the ceiling, and then you're going to pointing through the toes. Now we're going to switch. So as you flex the right foot, you're going to point the left, and then switch. You're flexing the left foot, point the right. So if you need to, just look at me really quick to see my feet. They're just switching. One's pointing and one's flexing, and go ahead at your own rate and just notice how one ankle or heel feels compared to the other. Maybe there's like some crunching going on with one heel. Maybe one ankle feels tighter or calf feels tighter. And then you're going to go ahead, just like when we're sitting, you're going to roll the feet in circles, just kind of doing again what's intuitive for you, but making it feel good. And getting into those bits and pieces of your ankle that need that extra love and attention. And then bend the knees and just shake the feet. Like shake them out like that's just rubber. Just letting it all go. Good. Interlace behind the head gently. Just going to work on some core since we're already here. And try to keep the lower back on the ground. Exhale, lower the legs to hover off the ground. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower the legs down. Inhale, lift. Again, your lower back, you want to keep pressing towards the earth. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift up. You don't have to go super low. Exhale, down. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, lower. Inhaling, lift up. Exhaling, down. Inhale, rise. Then exhale, bend the knees. We're going to come to a figure 4. So right foot plants down. Cross the left ankle on top of the right knee. And then you're going to interlace behind that right thigh. And then try to press that left elbow into the inner left thigh. So as you draw your right knee closer towards the chest, you want to feel as though you're pressing that left knee away from the body, because we're stretching our outer left hip here. And then just begin to move that right foot in circles. And try to keep the head resting to the ground, the shoulders soft. And then inhale, lifting up. Plant the feet back down. You're going to place the right ankle to the top of the left knee, interlace behind the left thigh. And then start to draw that right knee in, left knee. And with your right elbow, you're pressing that right knee away from the body, getting a deeper stretch in the outer right hip, and circling the left foot again. Squeezing in with an inhale. Again, not forcing, but just moving into that space created with your breath. And then you're going to roll yourself back on up, coming to a seated position. Inhaling to sweep the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, twisting to the right, placing the right hand behind you. Left hand comes to that right knee. Just a few breaths here. When you inhale, you ripple the spine. Exhale, you gently press further into the twist, gazing behind you. Inhale, rise the arms. Exhale, switch, left arm behind, right hand to the left knee. With each inhale, you want to lift the heart as the shoulders roll back, rooting through the sits bones. When you exhale, you empty the breath out, guiding yourself deeper into the twist, keeping the chin parallel with the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale to bring the hands to the heart space. Now you can either roll forward like I did, coming to hands and knees, or just release the legs, swing them to the side, and then coming onto your knees. If you have sensitive knees, place a blanket underneath them. Make sure the knees are hips distance and your hands are shoulder distance. Curl the toes under, pressing through all 10 fingertips. Lift the tailbone, roll the shoulders, gazing up for cow pose. Exhale into cat. You come to the tops of the feet, chin to chest, doming the back. So you're going to roll through this at your own pace, allowing the spine to move like a wave and allowing the life of that wave to come from your breath. Lubricating the whole spine. Try to feel the movement of each vertebra as you ripple in and out of this pose. And then coming back to neutral, extending the right leg behind you. Your right toes are tucked under. Make sure you have enough space for that right leg to be completely lengthened. And then as you exhale, you're going to press that right heel back, getting deep into her calf muscle. Holding for a moment. Then inhale, come forward. You might have to walk the hands a little bit more forward. Come to the top of the right foot, so we're stretching out the whole front side of our ankle, our shin, our toes. And then exhale, when you're ready, press back into the heel. Again, feeling this out in your own rate, at your own pace, going as gentle as you need, and you'll just roll on forward and back a few times, feeling it out in your own body. Again, not forcing. If something feels painful, just being more gentle with it and collecting your core so you're not putting too much weight into that back foot if that's too much. Lower the right knee down. Curl the toes under. Grab your pillow if you'd like. Place it underneath the thighs, resting on the calves. This is going to stretch the whole backs of our feet and our toes, and you can sit back into a child's pose, allowing the hips to sink towards the heels and allowing the forearms to rest down, and then maybe the head eventually rest to the earth. exhaling. Inhaling, lift back up to tabletop. And we're going to extend the left leg behind us this time, pressing the left heel behind on your exhale. And on your inhale, coming forward, again, walk the hands a little bit forward if you need to, allowing the top of the foot to rest to the mat and going at your own pace. And noticing the subtle change in the movement of your toes as you rock forward and back. And if you want to hold in an area and just breathe there, then just breathe and hold. A few more times. And then coming back forward, lowering the left knee down to meet the right. Okay, so from here, you're going to draw the right knee in towards the nose. This might be a little bit tricky, but you want to cross that right leg in front of the left so that the knees are in line. Now pick up that right foot and scoot it over towards the right side. You're going to take a seat down. Okay, so this is too much for your knees. Your right foot can go flat onto the mat, like I just showed. And also, if you need to extend that left leg out, then you can straighten it out in front of you and still do the same pose. Inhale to rise the arms up. And exhale to fold over. So this is called Gomukhasana, cow's face pose, stretching out the outer hips here. So we're trying to stretch out all of our legs, because when we have tight hips, that connects to our tight hamstrings, which leads into our calves and the back of the heels. And so we're allowing our breath to soften all parts of the legs, of the muscles within the legs, so that we relieve some of the tightness within the ankle joint or the tendons in the back of the heels. Inhale to lift back up, coming onto the knees, coming to the tabletop. So meet us there, however feels best for you to get into. And then you're going to draw the left knee into the nose again, and then just cross the left leg in front of the right. And then scoot the right leg over to the left and take a seat on down. Again, if this isn't working for you, what you can do is just cross the left foot over the right leg, and the right leg can go straight if you would like. So I didn't demo it on the other side, but if you want to see here now, so this is what it looks like. If that didn't work for your knees, you can do this. Right leg out, left leg crossed in front, and folding forward this way. But if you want to, and you can bend that right knee and tuck it into the outer left hip, then you can. And maybe that left knee can come on top of the right. So either way, so if that leg is extended out, you're most likely going to feel a stretch within that right hamstring. But the more that the left knee starts to bend and lower down towards the right knee, the deeper you're going to get into the outer left hip. But you're going to feel it naturally where you are most tightest. And so that's okay. That's exactly where you need to feel it. What part of that's exactly where your body needs to release and open. So either roll forward onto the knees, coming to tabletop, or just swing the legs over towards the side and rolling onto the knees. And let's press it back to a downward facing dog. So lift the knees, lifting the hips. Exhale, sink the hips down. The heels down. And then inhale, you're going to lift the heels back on up. Exhale, slowly pressing the heels down. Inhale, lift. So this is a deep stretch within the hamstrings here. And if this is too much, for the heels, then what you can do is place your pillow underneath the heels. You can grab 2 pillows and let them rest. So that's a little bit more gentle within the back of the ankles and your calves. And make sure you're lifting up out of the shoulders. The back of the neck is soft. You're gazing to the mat or the feet behind you. And then go ahead, inhale, lift the heels. And you're going to start to walk the feet slowly towards the top of the mat. It's okay if you have to lift your hands off the mat to get there. And then you're going to you're going to roll up. And if you use that pillow, go ahead, grab it. And you're going to bring it back up to the top of the mat. And once you're back at the top, just meeting there, forward folding. And take your pillow, draw it a little bit closer to you, and then just kind of feel the pose out first before we do any changes. Just holding on to opposite elbows and just noticing how much you have to bend the knees, where it's tightest, how it feels in your ankles and your toes. Just observing, taking note, watching, and exploring. And then if you would like to, go a little bit deeper. You're going to inhaling, lift halfway to reach the crown of the head out. Exhale, fold down, root through the feet, bend the knees. Inhale, roll up. You're going to sweep the arms up towards the sky. And then exhale to bring the hands down into the heart space. Inhale to sweep the arms back up. And exhale, hinge to the hips, arms reach to the side and down. Now taking the the pillow, what you're going to do is place it to the top of the mat and then place your feet, so the tops of the feet, the balls of your feet to the mat. The heels are still on the ground. This is going to get a really deep stretch in the back of the ankles. So if this is too much, then you can always just have your feet flat. And again, maybe you double up on the pillow or kind of fold it over if you want to go deeper. And still, if you want to go deeper, you can roll up a blanket into like a Tootsie Roll kind of elongated cylinder and place your feet on top of that. And again, so this is creating a flexion of your feet with the toes drawing closer up towards the body. And so with that, you start to tug into the little muscles within the feet, and then you start to stretch out the backs of the heels and the calves and the hamstrings even deeper. So it's allowing your torso to fold, to become heavy, softening into gravity, and just enjoying the stretch. And then rooting through the feet, removing the prop. Plant the feet, the hands down, and you're going to inhale, step the right foot towards the back of the mat. Lower the back knee down. Keep the back toes curled under, and then you're going to scoot the hips back, straightening out the left leg. And if your hands need something to hold on to, grab a book or just use your fist onto the ground or your fingertips. You're going to have your left knee slightly bent here, and you don't have to fold forward as I am. If you want to go deeper into the hamstring, you can exhale, fold forward. And same thing here. If it's too much pressing the left ankle onto the ground, you can place a blanket underneath that left ankle or the right knee. So all we're doing here is stretching the left hamstring. So just focusing on that space. Plant the left foot back down, come onto fingertips, lift the back knee off, and then you're going to try to rise the right leg up behind you, coming into Warrior 3. And maybe you can collect balance and energy from the earth and allowing that to rise you up with the hands to the heart space, reaching through the crown of the head and reaching through the back heel. And if not, just keeping the hands to the ground. Exhale, lower the hands and lower the right foot down to meet it. Inhale, step the left foot towards the back of the mat, lower the back knee down, and then as you exhale, you're going to scoot the hips back, straightening out that right leg, folding forward if that feels good to you, or just holding, draping yourself into the stretch. Inhale, let's come back forward, planting the right foot down. Walk the hands forward and rising the left leg up. Coming into your warrior 3 on the right foot. And again, if you'd like to draw the hands to the heart or forward in front of you or behind for airplane, you can do so, but maybe just trying to find some balance. Make sure the toes, the back toes, are pointing to the ground. And you're lowering that left hip down to be in line with the right. Reaching through crown of head. Exhale, release the hands down if you had them lifted. And then you're going to step it back into our downward facing dog. And just observing how it feels here, allowing the heels to rise up super high. And exhale, taking it slow, lowering the heels down. Inhale, just rising the hips. You keep lifting the shoulders away from the wrists. And exhale, lower down. So imagine there's a string connected to your sits bones, and when you inhale, someone's tugging your hips up and allowing that movement to come from the heels. Exhale, pressing the heels back down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, rising the heels. Exhale, this time you're going to lower the knees down to the ground. And we're going to come into that child's pose again, placing the pillow underneath the thighs, toes tucked under. Allow the elbows to soften to the ground, head to relax down. And again, you're allowing the hips to sink back so that your spine is becoming long. And just cleansing out anything this practice brought up thus far. Now swing the legs over to the side, coming back onto your seat. And we're going to lower all the way down to the ground, placing that blanket underneath your head as a pillow, which is nice. And you can draw that pillow to the center of your mat. And to end practice, we'll do one more spinal twist. So you're going to first we'll move around the ankles a little bit more, extend the legs up, and just do any movement feels good for you. Whatever last ankle love you need to give, then go ahead, wiggle through it. Seeing what feels good for you, noticing the warmth within them, the opening, and also creating strength as we just did this whole practice. Good. Maybe do a nice long hold. Inhale, really pointing through the toes. Another nice long hold, flexing through the feet. Good. And last, shake out. Just shake it out like really loose rubber. Letting the feet just become heavy. And then you're going to bend the knees. Arms going to come up by the ears, elbows bent. Draping the legs over towards the right side and drawing your gaze over to the left arm. And if you want to place the right hand to the top of that, the outer left thigh, then you can, to assist with the twist. And then to come back to the center, use your core muscles. Draw the knees in, and then exhale, rotate the legs over towards the left. And drawing your gaze to the right, placing the left hand to the outer right thigh if that feels good. So feeling with your exhale that the right shoulder softens deeper to the earth and the legs become heavier. Release the left arm down. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, release the legs on out, coming to Shavasana. Final relaxation. So your arms are a little bit wider than shoulder distance, and your palms are open, able to receive. You can just rock the head side to side just a little bit. Any tension, just releasing. Allow the legs to drape over the pillow so that the knees are slightly bent, and this helps neutralize the lower back. You don't have to use the pillow if you don't want to. And you're externally rotating the legs so that the pinky toes reaching towards the ground. Body is open, allowing yourself to fully surrender. Coming back to the evenness of your breath, feeling the heart space in the abdomen, expanding with each inhale, feeling yourself deflating with each exhale. I'm going to leave you here into the peace of your practice. You stay in Shavasana for as long as you have and are able to, taking that time for your body to really absorb the whole practice and to allow the healing energy to resonate and create shifts within inside you. Thank you so much for practicing with me. The light in me honors and recognizes the light within you. And when we are in this place together, we are one. Namaste. So much love to you. Thank you for sharing your space with me and your time. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.